Ladies, are you tired of being paid less, not being able to vote, and being encouraged not to be educated? Let's look into how you were viewed right now in the 19th century and then take a trip in the time machine and see what accomplishments we've made by the year 3000.
We're going to talk about how women transformed pre-Civil War America as they fought to improve prisons, schools, decrease public drunkenness, and end slavery. And while fighting for change and justice for others, American women discovered that the prisoners, children, and slaves they were fighting for weren't the only people being oppressed and marginalized in the American democracy. So women, provided they weren't slaves, were counted in determining the population of a state for representation purposes, so that was at least an acknowledgement that they were at like 5/5 human.
Women were treated unfairly in the 19th century and were seen as unequal to men.
In the 19th century, women were not allowed to vote.
Women were not smart enough to vote.
And to quote another historian, the most urgent reasons for women to want to vote in the mid-1800s were alcohol-related. They wanted the saloons closed down, or at least regulated. They wanted the right to own property and to shield their family's financial security from the profligacy of drunken husbands. They wanted the right to divorce those men and to have them arrested for wife-beating and to protect children from being terrorized by them. To do all these things, they needed to change the laws that consigned married women to the status of chattel, and to change those laws, they needed the vote. Since women weren't permitted to own property, and property ownership was a precondition for voting, they were totally shut out of the political process. Citizens of the new republic were therefore definitionally male.
Now let's look at women's right to vote, or lack of.
You're a pretty girl, it's in your hair. It doesn't matter, brush your hair and big teeth. What you wear is all that matters. Just
Oh, hello, Miss Cousins. What are you doing here today?
I'm coming to vote.
Oh, you can't vote. You don't have the right to vote here.
But I'm a person too, I have rights.
Oh, sorry, you don't have that right here. You're not allowed to vote. You're a woman.
Hold up. Let's take a trip to the year 3000 and see the accomplishments we've made.
In the year 3000, we will have an African American woman as president.
Woo! Finally, women taking charge.
And so now, as is always our tradition, the first black female president of the United States will lead us in our national anthem.
Now let's take a look at the wage gap in between men and women.
Women were paid different wages as men, and only 20% of women were in the workforce. There are still discrepancies in the wages today.
The idea of true equality between men and women was so radical that almost no one embraced it. Like, despite the economic growth associated with the market economy, women's opportunities for work were very limited. Only very low-paying work was available to them, and in most states they couldn't control their own wages if they were married.
This work really stinks.
I wish we made more money.
Me too.
If we were in the men's department, we'd be having a break with them right now.
Yeah. We'd be getting paid more money too.
Hi, I'm here for my paycheck.
Yup, here it is. And can you work an extra 4 hours on Sunday?
What is this? I worked really hard and this is all I get?
I'm sorry, that's all I have for you.
I do mind. I'm not working on Sunday.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, thank you very much. That's quite nice. I kept them women working real hard
Thank you
for you,
very
boss.
much, sir.
I'm here for my paycheck.
Here you go. And would you mind working an extra 4 hours on Sunday?
Well, I don't know. I have to go to church. I have to mend my husband's clothes.
This
I
is
have to take care of the
ridiculous.
kids. I'm sorry. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Work a little faster, ladies. We gotta meet this deadline by Sunday afternoon.
Let's make a quick stop into the year 2015 and see how women are still not being paid equally.
Today, the average full-time working woman earns just 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. Equal pay for equal work. It's not that complicated.
A recent study out of Yale University that is interesting, where professors were given the identical resume. One had the name John on the top and one had the name Jennifer on top. And the male candidate was rated more favorably, and
Really?
they were offered on average $4,000 more than the female candidate.
Okay, so it seems we either address the root of this problem and fight entrenched sexism in our society, or all women simply change their names to John. Sure, it'll be confusing for a while, but you'll have $4,000 extra a year just to take the edge off the confusion.
Women deserve equal pay for equal work.
Equal pay kicked off your presidency. It's become really a theme, one of the themes of your time here.
That's awesome, we're trying, but people are still not taking this very seriously. Let's take a look.
Are you a middle-aged man running a financial firm or a multinational conglomerate? Do you find that pushy female employees have been nagging you with unreasonable demands for equal pay? What if I told you about a revolutionary new product that lets you pay women just as much as men without sacrificing the sheer convenience of paying them less? Introducing Ladybucks, dollars for female employees that are worth just 83 cents on the dollar. Ladybucks is the new currency for women from the Federal Reserve and the creators of Playtech's Gentle Glide 360. Available in a variety of colors and scents, Ladybucks feature America's most celebrated female presidents like Gina Davis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Battlestar Galactica's Laura Roslin, who only became president after almost all of mankind was destroyed. It's an amount that could be described as virtually the same, really just reflective of the different choices women make, and some f***ed up Mad Men bullshit. So why not try Ladybucks? Show the women in your workplace that they're truly 0.83 in a million. Ladybucks are not for everyone. Consult your lawyer before using Ladybucks. Use of Ladybucks may result in class action lawsuits, adverse publicity, failure to retain staff, or being kicked in the dick.
Let's fast forward a little bit farther.
In the year 3000, women and men will be paid equally and seen as being equal. At last.
Yes! Only takes 1,200 years for men to see us as being equal, even though we bear the children, cook, clean, do all the chores inside the house, and regardless, we're still not done! 1,200 years, guys. Don't worry, it's coming.
Hi, we're here for a paycheck.
Here you go, guys. Have a great weekend.
Awesome.
You too.
Thank you.
Now let's look and see how education in the 19th century was viewed as unhealthy for women.
Women were encouraged not to be educated because if they did, it was believed that the blood would flow to their head and not to the womb, and it would result in puny babies.
But they were still expected to marry and have kids rather than, pursue a career. Under the legal principle of coverture, actually, husbands held authority over the person, property, and choices of their wives.
Okay, everyone, just copy what's on the board. Hi, Dr. Carr. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here. How are you this afternoon, Miss Cycler?
I'm good.
Why is Miss Moreno sitting in the corner?
She tried to go.
Well, that's understandable. I think it's my best opinion that these ladies be educated. It causes all the blood to flow to their head, and they will have tiny babies.
Gotta love those doctors, right? Because if I'm educated, I'm gonna have a puny man baby and probably hate myself because I decided to go to school and learn the alphabet.
Some of those goals, such as claiming greater control over the right to regulate their own sexual activity and whether or not to have children, were twisted by critics to claim that women advocated free love. It's interesting to note that the United States ended slavery more than 50 years before it granted women the right to vote, and that although much of the march toward equality between the sexes has been slow and steady, the Equal Rights Amendment, despite being passed by Congress, was never ratified.
I truly believe our population would go down significantly if men had to bear the children, because they could never take it. I really don't think so. Let's take a look.
In the year 3000, there will be equality, and men will have taken over the women roles and produced the children. There will be no wage gap amongst men and women will be seen as superior amongst society.
Oh dear, I think a child's on the way.
Oh no, we better get you home, get you into bed, little lady, and call the doctor.
The first steps toward acknowledging that not all heroes worthy of historical recognition are men.
Finally, by the year 3000, women will be considered equal amongst men. They will not only be allowed to vote, the head of our country will be an African American woman. Women will be paid equally and will be taking on more positions with authority than men. Our men will have taken on the job of birthing children and will resemble Amazonian women. Our progresses will truly show and the hard work will have truly paid off on this long journey. Hold up! Let's take a trip to the year 3000. Oh my god, it was recording that entire.
I'm serious, my tits are really small.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, good gracious, my husband, I think my child's on the way.
Am I your husband?
I dropped my kid.
That was very no record.
I got excited. And it didn't break. It scared the hell out of me, though. Dear Lord, husband, I think my child's on the way.
Well, we better get you home, little lady, and call the doctor.
Please. I'm squeezing as tight as I can, and that shit ain't breaking. Look, it looks like I got a grapefruit between my legs.
Whenever you're ready.
Let me get in the scene.
Okay.
Dear husband, I believe our child is coming.
Oh no, little lady, we better get you up and get you into bed and call the doctor.
Oh, please help me. Fucking thing won't pop! I stand the hell out of it.
Give me it!
Oh dear, I think our child's on the way.
Oh no, we better get you home, get you into bed, little lady, and call the doctor.
Oh, please.
Are you fucking kidding me? This fucker won't break!
You look smart, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready?
Amber Alert was canceled.
Oh. Redo! There's a blue.
I haven't read it. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Can you move over here?
Ain't those damn women
You
getting
just
anything.
The dingo ate your baby. To vote.
No, now you gotta say it.
Say what? They weren't smart enough to vote?
Women.
Women were not smart enough to vote.